Jen, get out of the fucking stream and go live. Saviour, have a word.
You.
My boy, my guy. Do you know?
Yo, what's up, man? How's it going?
I say this every time, but like I was just saying to Dread, and I've said to other streamers, I'm always in your streams, you're always in mine. You know, we switch in between.
Yep. And now look at us for the first
so
time.
we never actually get to talk voice, but I feel like I know you so well already. Like it's a bit of a
yeah,
weird.
man. Same.
It feels so weird.
This is surreal.
Oh, in
seriously.
fact, you're in the I champion the gym, so don't leave the gym. But start stream when you get home. I've not got you, Josh. Let me just drop my.
Hold on, let me see something.
Just in case you haven't.
Yeah, for some reason I don't got your voice in my stream, but it's alright.
Are you playing on 360? Not 360. At Series X.
Yeah, Series S. Yeah.
Yeah, the proxy chat don't always work. I'm not sure why. Unless you're on the same system, I don't think it works. So Yasha has that same problem. They can hear you on mine anyway, but if they can hear the answers, or they can get them to open both streams at the same time.
Yeah, I'll just tell them to join your stream. It's alright. No problem.
Nah. Reg with a raid, my guy. Appreciate you. We're just waiting on Josh. I've allocated enough time anyway that you can that we can go over quite a bit. So before I've got to go and pick my son up. Don't forget Wraith Energy. And what I'll do is, instead of plugging my promo code, my guy here has his own Wraith Energy code, and it is SaviorZaps 10.
Nah, just Savior. I appreciate it.
Savior 10 at Wraith Energy. Go use it.
Yep.
Right. What I'll
Thanks,
do
man,
well then. Oh, say nothing, brother. We're just waiting on Josh. What I'll do though, bro, while we're waiting, there we go. He's just given me his. Let me see if I can add him. You get a little peek behind the curtain. So it is. I thought you'd added me as well. So it's your normal. There you are.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know why it wouldn't. What the fuck is going on? There it is. Yeah, again, Reg, thank you for the raid, brother. That means a lot. The fucking community.
Those two guys, they killed it, man.
Bro, they did. Oh, everyone today, though.
They did amazing.
I can't stress enough how fucking well this has gone. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
It's going super well.
Bro, the community just fucks with us so heavy. It's mental.
Absolutely crazy.
Alright, I think I'm here. Am I here, guys?
Yo,
hey,
bro,
what's up,
can you just turn my stream down, brother? There
Yep, I did. I just turned it down.
My
Yep.
guy. Oh, well, boys. You're closing out the event. You're closing out the event.
Oh my god,
man, we're the closers.
How do you have energy left? How are you maintained?
I do. I have Wraith Energy. Savior.
Oh,
check out.
There's that plug.
So, boys.
Shameless plug.
So, right. Before I start, you know me. I got a little emotional earlier, but I do want to still say thank you to you both and to everyone else who's taken part today, because I've been blown away by the support. And when people like Smitty come in and they say they've had a whole bunch of followers today and all that business, it's exactly what I wanted to create with this, and it's exactly what I wanted to do, was introduce people to new audiences, new time zones, new people. So the fact it's worked has been crazy. But without further ado, Saviour, lead us off, bro. Tell people a little bit about yourself, who you are, what your platform is. You can say as many times as you want.
Yeah, no, definitely had no notes for this, but I consider myself a variety streamer. I do. My main games are just FPSs, like Apex. I play a little bit of Call of Duty. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, but it's mainly just Apex. I play a lot. I'm waiting on a new shooter called X Defiant. But as of now, I've been doing my solo streams when it's just me, so I'm playing the games I enjoy, like Resident Evil, even though that stresses me out to the max.
Yeah, it does. That was my last night.
Oh my god, dude, I was losing my mind on it yesterday. But yeah, some Resident Evil. I've been thinking about playing like Fallout 4. I've never gotten into Fallout, but I'll definitely try that out on stream. Any new game that I've never played before, I'll gladly play on stream. So I do consider myself a variety streamer.
You kill the solo stuff as well, bro. A lot of people struggle with the solo stuff because they're not interactive enough. But with the chat, but like when I go into people like yours, and because you're both here, it's quite easy to point and reference. But when I come into yours and you're able to hold a conversation with me while you're streaming, it's that's a talent in itself, because that solo stuff's a lot harder than like an FPS where a team can carry you while you stream. People watch my streams, I'm fucking horrendous on stream. When I'm off stream, I'm fine because I can just concentrate on the game. But it's same with Josh as well. When I'm in his streams, me and him have some fucking intellectual, like inspirational conversations, and he's there playing the game at the same time, and that's a talent in and of itself. Like, it's good. And on that point, Josh, takes it away.
What's up?
Tell people a little bit about yourself, your platform, what you do.
Well, I'm an older gamer. I'm 42. I've been gaming since I was a little kid, so it's been a lifelong thing. My platform is I'm more of a variety streamer. I play all kinds of different stuff. I have what I call ADVD, Attention Deficit Video Game Disorder, where I bounce from video game to video game to video game, and I'm trying not to do that with streams. I'm trying to really have a good schedule set up where I play the same stuff when I'm supposed to every week. So yeah, currently I've got Days Gone is going to be tonight. I've been playing that every Friday. I've had It Takes Two every Thursday. We do Diablo or Tiny Tina on Saturdays with my buddies. And then Sunday is my favorite day. That's the indie game day. That's where I play 4 hours of indie games, and I kind of bounce around from one to... I have 2 going right now that are great. I beat one last week. But I like to play the stuff that you haven't heard of. If I see a game with a title that I'm like, I don't know what that is, I am researching it, I'm looking for it, and I'm buying it. I don't pre-order blockbusters. I don't buy the blockbusters, the $69.99 games. Like, I'm always looking for the cheap deals and the underground stuff that you haven't heard of, you know? So, and I'm a real talkative guy, obviously, you're going to find out. I love, my whole thing with my platform is I just love to interact with people. Like, I want to get to know you, I want to remember you when you come in, and I want to be like, what is up, and how is that thing we talked about, you know?
You do that very well as well, brother. Just to give you your flowers for a second, like, you're not someone who just talks. There's a lot of purpose with the way you talk. That's why I think we vibe quite well, because we don't just have conversations for conversation's sake. We've had like full blown conversations for like 2 hours long on your stream about mental health and stuff like that, which we're both huge advocates for, because we've both had our own battles, as a lot of people who I spoke to today have. So I've got a lot of respect and a lot of time for you, brother. I really do. And
yeah, like 80% of interactions with streaming is asking how your day is, but when I ask how your day is, like, really, you can tell me. You can be like, you know, my morning was shit. I wasn't really feeling it. Things got a little better around lunch. Tell me what's emotionally upsetting you, that kind of stuff. Like, I like real talk. I'm not big on small talk. I like that real conversation. No,
I struggle with bullshit conversations, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And to chime in too, like, keeping it real is also like, it's just a part of the community. Like, you tell your chat, like, oh yeah, I'm having a rough day, this and that. That's why the community's there. Yeah. Like, that's how I see it sometimes too. Like, sometimes I'm having like a stressful day at work. I come home, I don't feel like streaming, but I do it anyways. Yeah. And it turns out to me having a good stream, having a good time, and then, you know, there's people in the chat that are true supporters, and they get in there, they make your day, and they make your day better. And it's like, that's why we do it. That's why we have the community.
Yeah, do you know what? Just to piggyback off your point there, Saviour, because you made a point there that was absolutely very important to kind of focus in on. Because I had this conversation, I've already said it once, I had this conversation with Yasha, because obviously me and him work very closely together, with him being on my team and us being really good friends. There was one day where Yasha's had some shit going on. Like, that guy is a fucking warrior. Like, the amount of shit that he's got going on that people don't hear about. And he said like he was feeling shit, and like, it wasn't that he wasn't going to stream, but he was talking about like his motivation to stream that day wasn't at its top. And I said, bro, you just go live, do it, and then if nothing else, for that day you have accomplished one thing. And I think that's so important, that those days that you feel like not streaming, sometimes you have to stream, because you will finish that stream and go, do you know what, that went really well, and will completely change your mood. I know when I go live and I see people like yourself in my stream, I'm like, there's my boy, yes, let's get it going. Like, you get hyped.
Definitely.
Like, this is going to been roughly a 9-hour stream today, and it feels like I went live 10 minutes ago, because I've just spent the entire day vibing with my friends. Like, who doesn't want to do that?
You.
Who doesn't want to do that? So to get into it, I'll go with you first, Josh. What originally got you into gaming, or who got you into gaming?
So I used to, the only games I got to experience when I was really, really little, and I'm talking like 6, 7 or so, was Atari at my friend's house. And so we played around the Atari. I loved it. He ended up getting an NES, and I was just so jealous. My parents, though, were so against video gaming.
Okay.
I was basically, my life consisted of church, and then like I was a performance pianist. I was studying multiple instruments and academics, and that's basically what my life consisted of. So grandma all of a sudden shows up with an NES action pack, and I had my first NES. And my parents wouldn't really buy us games. I had to save up my allowance and try and I'd buy them off my friends at school, or I'd trade with the neighbors or stuff like that. But that's how I started gaming, was the NES. And then I didn't even have another system until I was 15, and I got my first job, and I bought a PS1. So I made a skip from NES to PS1 with nothing in between, but NES is where it started.
That's a big jump.
No kidding. Yeah. So that was all I had for as a kid from like 8 to 15 was an NES with a few games for it, but I loved it, and I bonded with that was me and my brother's thing, because like I said, our parents were so pressuring with being high achievers and all this kind of stuff, and being so religious and all that, was that me and my brother had games to be like normal kids, you know? Yeah.
So, Savior, same question, brother.
Yeah, man. Well, being the youngest of three brothers, I've always had like the hand-me-downs, right?
Right.
So my very first console was the Super Nintendo, a hand-me-down for my brothers, and the very first game I played, from my memory, very vivid memory as well. Very first game I played was WWF Royal Rumble. I remember who was on the cover.
Yeah,
the cover of the cartridge. Yeah, I remember who was on the cover of the cartridge and everything. It's such a vivid memory. And ever since then, I've just been hooked onto video games. It's always been a part of my life since I was little. Seriously. Again, having two older brothers, I've watched them play. Whatever they were playing, I would watch, and then I will get into. So whatever they were into, I was into.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
basically
it gets like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically who I am now. Like, whatever music they listened to, whatever games they were listening to, whatever they were listening to, we were all big on wrestling. So, like, I watched wrestling with them when I was little, and I'm still into it now. And me and my brother, we still watch it every now and then. Yeah, so it's that's been part of my life since I was real little. I remember grabbing my very first console that wasn't a hand-me-down, the PlayStation 2, and then I ended up playing Resident Evil 1 Remastered. That right there changed my life, too. That's what got me into Resident Evil. Watching my brother play beforehand, him playing Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, when it was a GameCube exclusive, when Resident Evil 4 was a GameCube exclusive, and then playing Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation 2. Again, that just changed my life. It was Resident Evil, wrestling games, and basically just anything in between. I remember on a 360, little fast forward, on a 360 playing Perfect Dark Zero. That was a cool ass game. I know a new one's coming out pretty soon. But yeah, just I went from PlayStation 2. I even had the I don't know if you guys will even remember this, but I even had like this Spider-Man plug and play for the TV. It was just one Spider-Man joystick. I even played that, and that was before the PS2. Like, if I didn't have a console, I either had that or a PSP or just whatever. I always had a game, basically.
Do you know, Jones? You sound like a vet. Like, do you know, when like it's like you collected like all these things. I've always grown up with gaming because my dad was a massive gamer, and it was the only good thing he ever gave me in life. That and a good beating. But
not to laugh, but yeah.
Laugh. It's funny.
I was better. Hey, me too.
It was funny as fuck, to be fair. Like, when I look back at it, that guy could put a man down.
Way to kick a kid's ass.
Yeah, honestly, he made a spectacular show of it. But like I had all the systems growing up, more or less, and we grew up broke. But yeah, like, you're there, like, these plug-in plays with Spider-Man and that. This is shit I've never heard of. Like, I'm hearing about some shit today, a running pad that used to be on the Sega Mega Drive or whatever. No, Nintendo. It's crazy. But as a child, you can take this off, Xavier, because you were starting off a great story right there. As a child, what was gaming for you, though? Like, what was it? Was it like something that you did as a family? Was it something like an escape from reality? What was it that you thought gaming brought to your life as a child?
It was different things. All right, so like, I was active as a little kid. You know, I had all these friends living on the same street as me, so I was going outside every day playing with them. You know, having a good time, being a little kid. And then gradually, one by one, they all started moving away. And then that's when I just started being in the house more. You know, at that time I had a PlayStation 2, and then I was going from PlayStation 2 to Xbox 360, and it was just like around that period where it was like I was losing my friends. And now, not that I was losing my friends because like what was happening, but like, you know, they were moving away, their parents moving away and all that, so I was just in the house more. And then when I got the 360, that was it. It was the Xbox 360 to me. It was like not an escape from reality, but more of like, you know, just I guess being a kid and just being addicted to video games. And then later on in life, you know, going through high school and then after high school, it was an escape from reality. Just being online, being with my buddies. I've met a lot of people on Xbox Live, a lot of amazing guys, and I'm still
live was hot. Live was hot.
Man. 360 and Xbox One, early Xbox One days, and the 360. Those were the days.
That's when my friends list was actually like popping off and stuff. I always had something to play with. That was the last time. Last time I was multiplayer. Yeah.
Do you know the other thing that I think happened as well? Around that period, of gaming kind of became cool. So like I grew up like. I grew up in a very active place. Like there was a lot of crime. I've already touched on it a little bit. I'll never get into great detail about it, but I was involved in a lot of like heavy shit. But like even like people who were active like on the street, like where I'm from, started disappearing inside around that time. Like you started seeing less people on the street. Like you started like the guys that were in the street every day were now at home playing like fucking Halo online and stuff. Like gaming became cool. Like it was cool to say you played games then. Like the lobbies were absolutely off the chain. Like it was crazy how the lobbies were toxic as fuck as well. Like people think Call of Duty is toxic now online. Back then you could say whatever you wanted in those chats. Like
definitely.
Like those lobbies, the Halo lobbies, like some of the darkest shit I've ever heard on the internet was said in those lobbies. Like it was absolutely crazy. Go on.
Oh, my bad. Not to cut you off. My bad.
No, go for it. This is your chance.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted, because you mentioned Halo, and it's like Halo holds a special place in my heart because I think it was a Halo 3. Halo 3 was
Halo
like the
3.
First
Yep.
Yeah, first game I played online, and before that it was Halo 1 and 2. I used to play split screen with my buddies.
Yeah. Those split screens. I was talking about LAN tournaments earlier. I don't know if you ever went to any LAN tournaments.
But, I've never been to one.
LAN tournaments.
The first thing we did, so when I moved into the dorms, this is 2001, I went to college and I moved into the dorms, and we were on a co-ed music and arts theater hall, or dorm room, and we all made friends real quick because we all like-minded and stuff. We started first day there, we're tearing up the corner of the carpets, and we're lifting the tiles on the roof, and we're running LAN cables through our dorms to each other, and we ended up having a whole corner of Hall 8 ran with LANs for StarCraft and Diablo and stuff, like, and Counter-Strike and all that kind of stuff. And that was a blast. So my whole semester there, we were just playing LAN games. It was great.
Yeah, like honestly, I said it earlier. Like, it wasn't cool initially before like Halo went online and was like popping off. It wasn't cool to like play games. So like I never used to speak about it at like school or when I was out with my friends and stuff like that. But what I used to do is like I used to go to my dad's house at the weekends, and like he was massively into gaming, and he'd be like, "Oh, do you want to go to this LAN tournament?" There was this church that used to host them a lot. So like I used to like go, "Oh, like I'm not coming out this weekend, boys, because I've got to go to my dad's house." Secretly knowing what I actually want to do is go to this church and just smash a LAN tournament for like 4 hours straight. Like, honestly, those times, it was so good. So Josh, same question to you, bro. What did gaming bring to you as a child? Or what was it for you?
Well, I'm gonna get a little more real with this, the personal stuff.
That's what we want. That's what we
love.
You've talked to me, so you know I go deep.
Yeah, do it.
My house was a war zone. It was just constant fighting, yelling. My dad was abusive to both my mom. I'd see it happen, and was really abusive to me. he didn't really beat my brother up. I don't know, must have had something special for him or something. But I just went through all that, and so it was my escape. I'd keep my little Game Boy in my fort that I built, which was under the stairs, and I'd go down there when I was scared or hurt, and I would play on the Game Boy. Or, you know, my brother and I had time. There was a real, like I said, it was a real bonding thing for me and my brother. It was like we protected each other from what was going on the outside, what we were playing games and bonding. So we played through, like, we borrowed my friend's SNES, and we played through Chrono Trigger together, and you know, real emotional game there at the end there, and that was kind of a bonding moment for us. And then my whole thing, if you look at my profile, you'll see I'm kissing Kirby in my pic. Kirby to me represents the innocence of gaming. Kirby was we bonded over the NES Kirby's Adventure, and we talked about it a lot. And we'd be at church, and we'd be like writing notes to each other on what two abilities we should combine when we get home and stuff like that. It was our little escape. So, and the games are always so simple and kind of basic. They all kind of play the same. So Kirby to me represents the innocence of gaming that I kind of had as a kid, when the rest of the world was kind of a shit show around me. So that is what gaming means to me. It was an escape for me.
No, that's real, and do you know what I love? That, like, what I love about this platform is no one would have considered that in your photo. I have always wondered and meant to ask about your Twitch photo, and that is honestly, that is so real. Like, I never thought, like, I just thought it was like a good photo. Like, it made me smile whenever I saw it. And,
yeah,
like,
people think I'm a huge Nintendo fan or something, and I'm not. I actually I don't like most of the first person stuff. All I like is Kirby pretty much, and they don't. It looks kind of. I think it's goofy for a grown man to be kissing Kirby, but there's a whole meaning behind it, and if people ask, that's really what it is.
Smash Bros character. Smash Bros was a great game.
Yeah, he's a badass in Smash. Yeah. He's this cute little thing that can end worlds, and I also like that too because I deal with being bipolar, and I can be this cute little thing and blow up into this world-ending like thing. So Kirby, I relate to that. Like, and being an empath, Kirby adopts everybody else's powers, right? So when I'm dealing with people and I'm interacting with people, I really believe I'm a true empath, and I really connect with others and stuff like that, and I get feelings from people, and I take on their stuff basically for myself. So there's whole metaphors to all of it. I always have something stupid, deeper thing to.
That's not
yeah, that's cool.
That's
cool.
I love that introspective kind of look at everything. That is like a really cool thing. I do the same thing. It's quite funny actually. This is going to sound a bit like goofy, but I went to like an art show yesterday because I'm a big fan of like art pieces. And I said to the girl that I took, and I said, like, what do you see when you look at those photos? And she was just like, oh, this and this. And then she was like, what about you? And then I started reeling off this big fucking like scroll of like what I saw when I looked at it. And it is like that Kirby photo now means so much more to me when I look at it. Like when I next time go live, when I look at it, it will resonate because I love that deeper meaning. I love introspective shit and that kind of real thought that went into something. That's real. If you want to carry on then, Josh, what about as an adult though? What does gaming bring to you now?
Well, first, real quick, my first ever paycheck. I took that and I went and bought a PS1, and that was my next step into gaming. And boy, I went crazy having my own money and being able to buy my own games. And oh my gosh, it just took off. Yeah, that shit gets
dangerous.
Yeah, so and that was a big thing for me. You know, in my 20s and stuff. Man, I don't know if I want to get into all the. We're just doing short answers right now. I gotta keep this. We've got like an hour. We've got like an hour and a half, bro. Like I purposely allocated an extra half an hour so then if anyone ran over, everyone would get their chance to speak because people want to hear people's stories. And no, like I said. But I'm launching something else, which means I will have time with streamers that will not be allocated time. We can just talk for as long as that streamer talks about. So we will have time to get into deeper shit another time. But 100%, bro, say what you've got to say. And get I'll try and summarize. I'll try and keep it concise here. So, gaming was always there for me in my life, but I tended to. I became an alcoholic. I didn't deal with my life very well. I turned inwards and I drank, and I became a loner drinker. And I tried gaming, you know, through that, but I started losing all my hobbies when it got really bad, when the alcoholism got really bad. I was an accomplished musician, award-winning musician, played multiple instruments and stuff, and I lost all my musical ability. and then I stopped playing games. I stopped playing games more and more, and then I just had nothing. And I'm talking recently. This is back in like 2015 through 20. I was a real shell of a person. I didn't have any interest. All I cared about was sitting alone and drinking because I was so depressed. And so when I got sober back in 2020, I needed something new to obsess on, and like I mentioned, video games meant a whole lot to me as a kid. I really always loved them. I just lost my interest in life, and so I started getting involved in gaming groups for the first time ever. The only social media I had was Facebook. That was it. I didn't use anything else, and so I got involved in social media, started participating in groups, and then I started selling games. I started becoming kind of like an expert in buying and selling and stuff, and then I became an admin of a group, and it started just to be really fun. Like, I love talking about games. Like, this is good. This is energizing. So that became my new fixation. You know, I got rid of the addiction, and I started fixating on video games. And so then it took off, and back in February is when I joined Twitter. And then in April was only when I started streaming. So these were all like big steps for me to just, you know, keep progressing my love of gaming. So now it's actually become my identity in my life. Like, a lot of people know me as GoshJoshGamez on Facebook and stuff like that. And we make little jokes about with my name GoshJosh. GoshJosh is the little voice inside my head that likes to ridicule me. If you ever read one of my reviews, you can see a little like interpersonal communication in the beginning of.
You're talking third person a lot.
It's talking third person, where GoshJosh is my ridiculing mind voice, and I'm usually arguing with myself, which is kind of me anyway. So, but yeah, gaming's become a whole identity for me. It's become this whole thing that I thrive in, I do well in, and I connect with people in, and that is everything to me, is connecting with people and having a good time. So sorry that took long, but
no, I love to hear it. It's real shit. Like I said, like that's what I love about this, is it gives people the opportunity to be as real as they want to be. And a lot of people have got into like the dark shit that's happened in their life. Yasha's interview was crazy. And then
it's kept me sober. When I need to do something, I play games. It's a reason. It's like a distraction. And for the first year that I was sober, my nephew came over every single Sunday with me, because part of drinking is boredom. You're bored, so you drink. You know, your addiction. You get in a routine and all that kind of stuff. Well, my days off were miserable. I'd wake up at 2 p.m. because I had a hangover, and I'd go to bed like by 9 o'clock because I just didn't even want to be awake. But my nephew started coming over every Sunday, and we would play games for 8 hours. We'd buy junk food. We'd have a great time. He was 15 years old at the time, and I got to be the cool uncle buying every single game he possibly wanted. I came home with it so we could play whatever he wanted, and he did that with me for an entire year as a teenager, every single Sunday. And, you know, that was just a savior to me, to keep me confident in my first year of sobriety.
Yeah, that's real.
Good,
I did say, I don't know if you'll have heard it earlier, because I know how super early it is there for you, Josh. But I did say earlier that to a few of the streamers who've got into some of the personal stuff, that it's important for people to hear this, because there's X amount of people. I think there might be an ad, but there was 50 people in here a minute ago, and some of those people will have gone through the same journey you've gone through, or they may be going through it currently. And it's so important for them to hear it, because you are at a point now, hopefully anyway, and I know you have spoke about it, so I believe you're in a place now where you are so mentally resilient, and and what you're showing right now is you're showing the results of years of hard work that they may just be starting to pursue. And I believe that speaking to you now and discovering your channel, they know there's a safe place for people who have been through the same stuff that they're going through. And that might be people aren't watching out, maybe people who watch this back later, or when I trim it down and post it on YouTube and send it to, you know, each of the streamers and stuff like that. It's so important that these voices like yours get elevated, so people can hear that there's people out there, there's a safe place for them out there where they can go and not be judged or not be ridiculed, because addiction holds so much stigma. I've got friends who have been drug addicts. I lost a friend at 13 years old to drug addiction. And it's real that these conversations are had. Like, it's so pivotal that these voices are had in this community, where I see so much not stigma, but so much mental health issues within the community on Twitter on a daily basis. And it's one of the things that inspired this, is that voices like yours could be elevated, and your story could be shared, because it's important you get to tell that story.
Well, I see for a while there, I really had to focus on myself. I was shaky in my sobriety, so I had to make sure I was okay. But I'm to the point where I'm so confident. I've become so mentally strong. I've become physically strong. Lost 115 pounds. I've become emotionally strong by finding out, learning more about myself. That I can be there for other people now. I don't have to worry about me. I've gotten myself good, so now I want to be there for others.
Yeah, and your channel is, for those that don't follow Josh, please do go follow him, because his channel is where you talk to him about anything. He's truly inspirational. He articulates himself so well, and is open to have those guys, and is so knowledgeable about everything mental health. Me and him were talking about like CBT and stuff like that, and having conversations about that on his channel just the other day. So, Saviour, you bro.
Yeah, man. Well, tell me. Hit me with it.
So, gaming today. So obviously you're an older guy now. Not older. You're still pretty young. So
still a youngster.
How old are you, Xavier? What's he mean by older? Okay.
Yeah, 25.
Mid-20s. But obviously at your age now, I was saying earlier about like guys. Once they get past a certain age, it's almost meant to. People almost talk like they shouldn't be gaming anymore. Like I was speaking earlier about like how I'll tell people at the gym, who I used to bodybuild with, like, oh, I've got to go home because I've got to jump on stream and game, and they laugh about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain amount of stigma surrounding grown men playing games. Oh, you're a big kid, X, Y, and Z. Like. So as a grown man now, gaming, what does it bring? What does it bring to you?
It still gives me that escape from reality and that stigma of like, oh, well, you're a grown man, you shouldn't be playing games. Well, what else should I be doing? Should I just be out the house and
trust me?
It's like it makes no sense. Like, what else should I be doing? Like, you want me to like be out in the street and do whatever? Like, no, I'm a simple man. I work, come home, I stay inside the house, and I play the game. That's all it is to it. The whole stigma of, oh, well, you're 30, you're 40 playing video games. Who cares? Playing video games. This is what, in a way, right? Because everyone thinks differently. So, like, obviously, I'm 25, and let's say someone who's 40 or 50 who is still playing video games, maybe they still play video games because it reminds them of their childhood when they used to play a lot. And they can't play as much now, but they still play because they still want that, like, they still have that nostalgia of their childhood. So, that whole stigma, I don't get it. I'm gonna be 70 still playing video games. That's just me though.
Trust me. No, I said this earlier when I was having a conversation with the two other streamers, and I'm sorry for forgetting who I've talked to today, but I've spoken to so many people, and we're 8.5 hours in, so my brain's a little bit scrambled. But I was saying, like, it's completely cool. Do you know, like if you said to your boys, if you went, oh, boys, do you want to watch the game tonight? We'll have a few drinks and blah 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 blah. That's cool. You can do all that, and that's socially acceptable. But if you went, oh boys, do you want to come round tonight and like play some games? Like, there's certain people who judge you. I just want to say this for those of you that haven't watched Saviour streams. When he's playing with Jen and Jehovah in it, with Jay, like those three, the chemistry there and the jokes and the shit talking. If you want to spend a couple hours laughing with like some good people, like the smoke is real in their chat though. I tell you, like the smoke is real. Like you can't be lighthearted getting on that. Like it is honestly like. But this is what I mean. These communities and these circles you build, and I get like I'm guessing you're close to those people on the outside in a real life situation as well. But like these communities and these friendships that you form inside like video games, you don't build that anywhere else. You can't go to a bar and form those relationships. I don't believe you can't go you can't go anywhere and form the type of friendships and relationships like me and Yasha. Me and Yasha never met a day in our lives, and for the past like 6 weeks we've spoken every day. You don't do that anywhere else. But not to play victim, but we're the community that gets judged. We're the big kids. Like that's some bullshit. Like honestly. But yeah, like I just wanted to shout out your team, Saviour, because you absolutely kill it. Like that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You've got something special over there.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And to touch on Jen and Jehovah, yeah, Jehovah is my cousin, and I've known Jen.
You said, yeah.
Yeah, and I've known Jen through Jehovah. But like, so we all know each other in real life, and like even listen, we're like that on and off stream. the shit talking, the hostility. It's like that when we hang out. It's like it's like that in person, and it's like that on stream. That's not a facade. That's not a show. That's how we are too when we hang out.
No, for real. But, you can tell. You can tell.
So like, but that stigma doesn't really exist with us, because like my cousin Jehovah, my cousin, and my brothers and Jen too, and we're all like, well, let's all hang out, and we'll hang out at someone's house, and we'll play Smash Bros. Literally all night. We'll have beers and play Smash Bros. Like, and my brothers and my cousin, they're older than me, like, and they're still playing video games. They're still, you know what I mean? They're still interacting and all that. So it's like, again, I just don't get that stigma. I don't, but I really do appreciate what you said. I am trying to like build something special over here. I mean, I have these goals, but I can't think of them right now because that's in the long run.
Yeah.
I work in convalescence, and we joke about it all the time. How I'm gonna have the PlayStation 8 while I'm in convalescence with my PS Vita 5 handheld and fucking Rob Zombie and Disturbed playing on the overhead music while people are doing arts and crafts and shit. So it's legit. That's how it's gonna be.
So boys, like I'll throw this to Josh first. So why streaming though? So I get the gaming thing. You've talked about that and your passion for it, but why did you choose streaming?
So this is literally just to prove something to myself. The whole reason I joined Twitter and I started streaming was to see if I still had any worth in myself. This is a midlife crisis for me. This is coming out of fucking alcoholism, trying to see if I still have some worth to the world. And I found it, in the confidence about running the groups and talking about games and stuff like that. And I was a real insecure person because I was 115 pounds heavier. I didn't let pictures of me be taken. I didn't let video of me be taken for years and years and years. So to get the idea of getting on stream and putting myself on camera and having people look at me was terrifying. So it was kind of a confidence builder. I had a couple people from Twitter that just kept telling me, just try doing it. And I did. I sat there and I felt insecure and I felt awkward, and I just did it until it felt comfortable. And now it's a real confidence booster, and it's even a mood booster. I was having a major breakdown the other day, and I just got on stream, and that shit put my head right, and I came out of there much happier. So, there's a whole purpose for it. Like, it's become something I really like and I kind of need, and I was terrified to ever even try it. So it went from that to that. And yeah, midlife crisis, literally, that's what it is.
No, but do you know what? Like, it is. I can't say this enough for anyone watching this who's thinking about streaming. And I know a couple of people have already put in the chat that they're thinking about streaming or that they used to stream and they want to get back into it. I can't tell you enough. If you surround yourself with the right people, and fuck me, we've got it. I mean, I met Josh very, very early in my journey. I shared a screenshot the other day of like Savior had followed me when I had like 10 followers. I can't stress enough that surround yourself with the right people, and this can be an absolute lifesaver for you. I was in a very fucked up place before I started streaming, and I've never been in a better place in my life mentally. And I've always been someone who's very mentally resilient. Even when I'm in a fucked up place, I still have that kind of grind mentality that I'll just grind out of the bad place. Like, I'm powerful like that. That's like, everyone has a superpower, I believe, and that's mine. But surround yourself with people like these two gentlemen, and you will be Gucci. Like, you will be so good, because I know both these individuals here and the people I've had on today. If I reached out to them and said I need some help, they'd be like, what is it? They wouldn't even say, oh, no, they'd be like, what is it? They wouldn't care what it is. And you need to surround yourself with people like that, because these are people that will be there for you in your darkest times when you're down bad. And that's why it's important to also come into this community as a genuine individual, be your real self, because people will find you. And I believe the people that suffer in our community are the people that aren't being their real selves. But anyway, Savior, I've talked enough shit today. It's your turn, bro. Why streaming? What made you start streaming?
Honestly, I've always had the thought of wanting to stream since high school. Always had the thought of streaming since high school, because like back in around like my senior year, it was like 2016. I used to play like some competitive Call of Duty. Like, I was no pro. I was not gonna hit the league or anything, but I would play like the game battles. You know what I mean? On on GameBattles.com. Play those. Play some free online tournaments, and always had that thought. Well, maybe I should stream. And I tried it, and I had a different mindset back then, obviously. So I quit very easily. But then like I did like one stream, and like my one friend got into the chat and he was like, "Hey, listen, like this." It was constructive criticism. He was like, he was telling me like the audio was real messed up, and I didn't know how to fix it. I'm just getting into it, and I just quit. That's just plain. I just straight up quit, seriously. And I haven't tried streaming since like 2020, and like even in 2020, it was every now and then streaming, every like a stream here, then like a week later, a stream here. Like it was very inconsistent, but I always kept talking about it. I always kept talking about being a streamer and doing all this, but not putting in the work, not putting in the action, right?
Yeah.
And then just recently, actually no, 2022, the beginning of 22, I was being a little bit consistent with the streaming. I was actually getting close to affiliate, and then I stopped for like a full year, and then came like we started talking about what, February, Belly? It was February, January.
No. Me and you I've only been streaming 2.5 months. We first met in mid-June.
Mid-June. Oh, okay. It was
that's when you contacted me too.
Right. So mid-June was like, I'm thinking my timeline's all messed up, but I was thinking like for some reason February. But yeah, it was mid-June then that I started. Streaming. The reason why I'm thinking of February is because that's when I started doing YouTube. But mid-June was when I started streaming because you told me to. You kept pushing me to stream and all that, and I gave it some thought. And I'm like, listen, I've tried streaming before and I've quit, but I never really tried. I just did it like once or twice, and that's it.
I think
if I actually put in,
it's the people you have around you as well, bro. Like I've said, not to cut you off. I just think it's important to say, like I keep saying, energies attract, and I don't mean this in a spiritual fucking zodiac sign not bullshit. That's some people believe in that, but I don't believe in that. But actual physical energy that you put out into the world, that energy you can sometimes feel in the room is tangible when you're around certain people. And when me and Saviour spoke a few times, me and him just immediately hit it off. Like it wasn't even a thought. It was like, oh, this is my boy. Like it was like I'd known him a long time. Like we could just talk. And as soon as, like you say, to put you back, to tap you back in, bro. When me and you talked, and you talked about streaming, like I couldn't not like go just do it, because I could tell you had it, because we were similar people. But yeah, you go, bro. Sorry, I just had to put that.
No,
out
you're
there.
fine. You're fine, man. You're fine. You're good. But yeah, I gave it some thought, and not only that, but Jehovah told me my cousin told me to stream. He was like, "Why don't you stream? We're on the game every day. Like, you're just turning on the laptop, popping up the stream, and that's it. You're just playing the game." And he said that a few times. And when after I talked to you, I gave some thought. I was like, listen, if I actually put in some work, if I put in some consistency, be disciplined, and actually I can actually get somewhere if I actually put in some work. And that leads me to now. At first, it was motivation, but I don't want to be, led by motivation, because motivation comes and goes. It's discipline.
Trust me, love that.
Because I've been having days where it's like, shit, I not that I want to stream, I gotta stream. But then when I do stream that day, it's like I have a good time. So it turns out better at the end. But yeah, it's discipline that drives me, not motivation, because I do want this. I've always had this itch when I was little to tell a story or create a story, and like content creation. Something along that field I've always had, an itch for. So
what's your goal? What's your end goal? Do you want to be a full-time streamer? Do you want to just be a content creator? Do you want to make money on it? What do you want to accomplish with it?
That's a good question. Well, the money obviously, but like I can't fully focus on the money. I can't really be like, oh, I want to make money, and like, because that's not really a good like motivating like factor, I guess. I just want to be a content creator. I just on any platform, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, I just want to make people's days and lives better. Put a smile on their face. I feel as though I'm funny a little bit.
Nah, for sure. No, Saviour, you write as well though, don't you?
Yeah, no, like I just like I've always wanted to be like that person that I never really had when I was little, like someone to look up to or whatever. I mean, I had people to look up to. I'm not gonna make it seem like my family is a piece of shit. But,
no. I get what you're saying though, because that's it's quite funny you say that, because me and you've never spoke about that, but my thing that I want to get out of this is the same thing. Like I've always been someone who has wanted to tell a story or wanted to be like, I'm massive into like mythology and stuff. Like I love mythology, love those stories. Like my sleeve on my right arm is my family are descendants of Vikings. On my dad's side, they're direct descendants of Vikings. So I've got the Viking gods all up my arm, and I love those stories. And the same with Greek mythology. So it's the same thing as that need to tell a story. So it's almost been an actual like like drug addicts like fiend for stuff, like fiend for crack or fiend for heroin. Like it's been the same thing of like wanting to help people through stories. So be able to like this is why this is I've loved this is giving people the opportunity to tell their story because I know they'll inspire someone, and that shit like gets me off. Pause. But that shit like is like when Josh was talking, I was like, and he was like, "Oh, I'll try and make it short." No, don't make it short because it won't mean as much to people. Like it won't get your story out there, let people hear it because you'll save someone's life today. I said it to Smitty. I said someone will wake up tomorrow because of what you've just said. Like that shit's real. Like people don't understand.
That's true.
That shit is real. I've seen it firsthand. I've had friends who've reached out to me, and then a day later have gone, "Thank you for yesterday." I didn't say anything because I was embarrassed, but I was actually thinking about taking my life. Like people have said that shit to my
100%. I get stuff like that. I get messages like that, like just from my posts on Twitter and stuff. People saying you're inspiring. Like I feel better about today because of you, and like stuff like that. And really, that's what really matters. I'm not looking for like acknowledgement of like, hey, you're a cool person. I want to hear somebody say like, you helped me, because that's literally my goal, is to help somebody and make their day better.
Bro, when Smitty and Gotham were talking earlier about me and about this platform and the opportunity, like people saw on the screen, like I was like that shit touched my soul. Like it was fucking weird how like my soul felt touched. I was like, felt a little bit violated. I ain't gonna lie. It was real. It was real. But that kind of leads to the next question. So, Saviour, if you want to take point on this one, bro. So if someone, I mean, you've got people around you that are doing just this now, so I think you'll be able to speak on this very well. Like when people are talking about starting streaming and talking about getting into streaming and have anxiety about certain points or are struggling for the motivation on certain points, what do you say to them, or what would you say to them, like to help give them that kickstart?
Well, considering the fact that I was in their shoes once, where like, oh, should I stream? Should I not? It's easier said than done, but just go for it in a way. Like, all right, you're shy, you're in your shell, you're in your comfort zone. Cool, it's all right to be in your comfort zone, but with streaming, you can break out of that comfort zone. You can get rid of that shyness that you have, because that's what happened to me. I've always been known as a shy, quiet. I've always been to myself, and with streaming and a little bit of YouTube, but with streaming mainly, I feel as though it's broken me out of my shell. You know, because my friends in real life know that I do streaming and all that, and I tell them about it and what I'm up to and all that. But for the people who are considered doing streaming, go for it. Even if you're shy, even if you're comfortable in your comfort zone, just go for it. And it will build your character. It will break you out of your comfort zone. It will build your character. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Stay disciplined. Motivation's good, but stay disciplined more importantly.
Yeah, I think the motivational aspect, like people, as people know if they watch like the WeRise Twitter page or the Next Up Twitter page, that I post a lot of motivational shit on there. But it's very good to point out that, like Saviour said multiple times, I'm glad he has, that motivation is just temporary. Motivation comes and goes like any other emotion. Discipline is so key, and that's advice that I would give to someone for sure, is stay disciplined, because if you want it, and it all depends what you're starting it for. Some people just want it for the social aspect. I'm trying to build something big here. But if you're here and you want to make it big, in quotations, then discipline is so key. Josh, I know you're gonna have a good point on this. I know you're gonna.
Well, the first thing I'd say is to kind of do a self-analysis. Like, are you willing to put in the work? Because it doesn't come to you. People don't just all of a sudden find you and just, latch on. Some people get lucky like that. You never know. But you got to evaluate your mental health. Can you deal with streaming to no people for hours? Can you deal with rejection and getting online and having nobody pay attention to you? Like, is that gonna, because it messes me up. I still, even after doing this for 3 months, I still have streams where I stream to one person for 3.5, 4 hours, and I'm totally willing to do it. It just, it just becomes kind of a little. It mentally does affect you. So you got to know that you're mentally strong enough to deal with rejection and that kind of stuff. And then how bad do you want to do it, and what do you want to do it for? Is it the right reasons? Are you looking to get like famous quick? Do you want to blow up with 2,000 followers and start crashing in the money like real fast? Do you think that's going to happen honestly? Or are you just looking to create a community where you have like-minded friends that come on and hang out with you while you're streaming? And that's my goal. Money is cool, but I just want to be able to have a community, a support community that wants to talk to me, wants to hang out with me, that wants to listen, that wants to, interact. That's my entire goal, is to create like you're trying to do, a positive community for like-minded people. And so you just really got to analyze what your wants are, what you expect to get out of it, and how your mental confidence and stability is to be able to take a lot of rejection and a lot of time alone.
That is so true. Do you know what? I knew you'd have a good answer, but you absolutely smashed that. The self-assessment on your mental health is so important, because I cannot stress, if you're not already streaming, so you may not be aware, and maybe if you've just started streaming and you're not aware, if you aren't mentally resilient and don't understand the ups and downs of streaming, then this platform will eat you up and spit you out. And it sounds brutal, but it's so true. It
genuinely upsets me sometimes. I will leave a stream and I will feel like shit for hours because nobody came around to pay attention, and it's nothing I can control, and that's just it. And I take it personal. That's just how I am. Yeah. I can't help it. But it goes away, and then you have a good stream. Your streams are so irregular. You have to ride a roller coaster. You're not, until you're really established, you're not getting 15 people in there every time. So you got to ride the roller coaster.
And the thing is even when you start to get a good average, and like I've said, I am so thankful for what the community has done for me and what it's gifted me, because like I said, I'm hyped off.
Your numbers are doing good, man.
Yeah, but yep. Like I said, I always give praise to the community, because they're the ones that chose to fuck with me. But the ins and outs of it are, you'll never be satisfied. You'll never be satisfied.
Never.
Let's put it this way: if I spoke to I don't know, a streamer who's just started out and said, "Oh, next month you're gonna average 6 viewers," will you be happy with that? They'd go, "Oh, fuck yeah, of course I will." I can guarantee you would not be, because you'd average 6 viewers and then you'd want 10. And like I said, my average every week is going up. Absolutely amazing, and I can't thank anyone enough. But I'm still not fucking satisfied. and it's okay to feel like that, because that's the hunger that will carry you forward, is because you'll always strive for more. But at the same time, keep tabs on your mental health, because it will fuck you up. I did it the other day. I had a stream on Sunday. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a double figure average across that stream. And then I streamed a day later, 24 hours later, and my average was 6. And I was like, what the fuck did I do? And then I had to take a second off stream and sit, and I'm very good at this, because I do a lot of self-meditation. I do a lot of meditation. I sat there for a second and had a word with myself, and I just called myself a fucking idiot. I'm a big advocate of David Goggins, and David Goggins talks about looking at the mirror. And I looked in the mirror and I just called myself a fucking idiot, and I snapped out of it, and I was like, yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. Just get over it. And then the next stream was 10 times better, in terms of numbers. Twitch is just a mindfuck sometimes. You can't. Yeah,
you never know. You honestly never know. I've gotten as high as 15 people, and but yet they all spend hours streaming to one person. So it just doesn't. You never know. Yeah. And it also helps, and that's the problem, is if you're seen on Twitch with only one person in your viewership, you're not going to necessarily get people that want to come in there and join into that one person viewing type of thing. So it really takes, you have to have kind of a base of 3 or 4 people showing up regularly to really pop off a little bit.
And it takes time. Like I said, I was speaking about, I think it was Vic Mercer, or I can't remember who it was, who posted their analytics over a 5-year period, and it was fucked. It was quite literal. I said it earlier in the stream, but if you didn't see that part, his average was up and down on a very low level. Say he was averaging 10 and then 6 and then 10 and 6 for 4 years straight, and on the 5th year it just took off. And his point was, all you have to do is grind until you get that moment. Whether it's a big streamer raid you and then you take off and people discover you, whether it's a viral moment, but you just if you truly want this, the amount of viewers you get, you will not give a shit about. You'll be thankful for it, but it's not your long-term goal. Your long-term goal is to get your platform to where you aspire to be. So stop looking at your average followers. Like, just stop it, please.
And yeah, numbers aren't. That's the other thing is people that just go for numbers, that are going around just pimping out their tags and stuff, trying to get as many people to add. Your numbers really don't matter. You could have 300, 500 people, and you've got 2 showing up that actually want to interact with you.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go out there and make these connections with these people by interacting in their stuff on Twitter or talking to them on stream, showing interest in them. You can't expect anybody to come to you without purpose. So, you know, you got to go out there and do all that work, and nothing's guaranteed. You need to have something real with the people that want to come hang out with you. Otherwise, there's nothing to it.
What I would say, what my point would be, what the thing to focus on is your relationships. So
Yeah.
I say it over and over again, and you lot are going to get bored as fuck listening to it, but surround yourself with people that want to see you win. I didn't get the 12 amazing fucking individuals today by my analytics. I approached Josh, Savior, Reg, everyone. I approached them when I had 10, 20, 30 followers. And they bought into it early. Why did they buy into it? Because their relationship that we had, they recognized the genuinity that I was approaching them with.
I will believe in anybody that believes in me. You know, I'll give you that same energy back. If you come at me with positive energy, I'll give it right back.
For real, yeah. I can't say it enough. So we've touched on that. So if people were, and this is all tied in, this is run fucking smoothly. It's like I've done it 5 times already. So what do you, Savior? What do you think is necessary to start streaming then? What do you think are like the necessities? Like whether it be tech, whether it be whatever.
I was thinking about this too, and it's like you can start at whatever point in the beginning, whether you have just a console and a laptop, or just a straight console and that's it, no laptop, and it's just your console and your monitor. Just start. You know, it's starting with nothing is better than just like not starting at all and just not giving it a try. I mean, you gotta. I mean, don't get me wrong. You do want to upgrade your production and the quality of the stream, but that will come in time. That you can't rush the process. I think that's one thing people gotta understand is that they gotta love the process and enjoy the process. Deli, you mentioned David Goggins, right? I'm gonna mention
my guy, David. Yep.
Yeah, I like Dave. I'm gonna buy one of his books soon. But,
honestly, I wish. Do you know what? Just move to the UK so I can just so I can send you a book. I'd send it you. If you were in the UK, I'd send it you. The book, by the way, chat, is called "You Can't Hurt Me." That book changed my entire fucking life. I posted recently.
I want to get that one.
I posted 3 books the other day that I think if people want to self-develop and become better people, they should read. But the one book to start off with, "You Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins. If you don't read that and it doesn't change your life, you aren't human. You're a lizard person. Honestly,
but yeah,
go for it, bro. Yeah,
for real though. But so this author named Mark Manson, right?
Yep.
I have 2 of his books, but I only read one and finished one. It's called the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I
read that. I read that
you
too.
You guys read it? Yeah. It's an amazing book. Mark Manson says something that still sticks with me to this day. And I've read it and finished it last year, and it still sticks with me to this day. He said, change your mindset from thinking about what will make you happy to what am I really willing to struggle for, and that plays hand in hand with what do you have when you start streaming. I mean, you don't have much. That's the struggle. That's the process. You gotta fall in love with it. Don't think about, okay, if I reach this milestone, I'll be happy. If I have this, I'll be happy. No, you gotta love the process. You gotta trust the process. You can't cheat it. Just go through it. Struggle through it.
Yep.
And choose to struggle through it. Like, be glad that you're struggling through it because it builds character. And I mentioned that earlier, but yeah, it's just instead of focusing on what will make you happy, just focus on what are you willing to struggle for.
Yep.
And I promise you, your mindset will change. That's why my laptop's not the best laptop. I can't run through my capture card because the CPU will end up frying. But it's a start. You know what I mean? I just have the stream pulled up on my laptop. I stream from my console, and I'm good to go. I'm streaming, and I clock in 2-3 hours a day, and I hit affiliate. So it's like, listen, even with less, you can do that.
Bro, I've said it before. Like I've said it before. Like, you really don't need anything. Like, no one here in this chat. There's like we've hit over 50 live viewers at some points today. No one gives a shit that I'm streaming off a shitty Chromebook or that I'm still using a PS4. No one gives a fuck. What do they buy into? They buy into the individual on the other side of the camera who is being genuine, who is being real, who they vibe with. If people are watching you and they're judging what you're playing on or what you're using, or oh, you haven't got overlays, what, you haven't got overlays, oh, you haven't got a cap. If that individual, you don't want that follower. You block that person, because there will be people in the community that will fuck with you because you're a great person, not because you spent
because you don't have a face cam.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of this is that you have people who truly fuck with you. Like those 10 people that followed you at the beginning, chances are they will be the 10 individuals still watching when you have 10,000 followers. Like,
yep.
It's real. It's real. Go on, Josh.
Well, you know, I started out basic. I lost touch with tech at some point. I feel like an old fucking person because I really did. I stopped using a PC for the longest time, and I just did everything on my phone. As soon as smartphones were like the thing, I just used it for everything. So I lost a lot of PC interest and ability and stuff like that. So I started with just buying the PlayStation 5 HD camera, and it was $45, and that's all I needed. And it was a start. It's not the greatest thing, but boy, that's how I did my first month. That's how I made affiliate, was on that thing, and it took me $45, and that was about it. And I have an old crappy PC I bought new in 2018. That's a Dell all-in-one touchscreen. It's a piece of shit, and it's basically what's running everything. And I got a capture card. I still can't figure out how to use. I never learned how to use OBS. I'm trying, but I just need somebody to help me. I'm kind of a learn by somebody talking to me type of thing, more than me reading and watching videos. So I want to figure that out so I can start making YouTube videos and stuff like that too. Capture my gameplay and all that. But you know, there's all kinds of stuff you can go as crazy as you want. Or you can just get yourself a PlayStation 5 camera and just sit on your couch like I do and talk to people. And that's really all it is. I don't have $300 neons. I don't have a huge computer desk and chair and all that kind of stuff. I'm lounging on my couch, hanging out with buddies, and that's just really all it takes.
No, do you know what it is? Like you're talking about cameras right there. No one gives a shit that I'm using my webcam on my laptop. Like no one gives a shit. Like people, like when people talk about and I've spoken to people about streaming and they're like, oh, I've not got my setup yet. I'm like, you don't need a fucking set. Can you press go live? Have you got half decent internet? Go live. Right. I have a really nice camera now, and I'm using what's called, because I couldn't figure out OBS and I was getting frustrated, I found this thing called Lightstream Studio. That's what I use. Yep, that's what I use. It works directly with the PS5 through it, and it's the easiest thing to set up layers and all that kind of stuff. So I have minimal decorations on my page, but it's enough for me, and I'm learning how to do slowly, like Regnoth helped me learn how to make emojis, so I'm trying to slowly learn how to make emojis and add more animated things and stuff like that. So you just do it piece by piece. You start with your basics. Just get your ass on camera and playing a game, and then you work on creating little cool things to your channel and all that kind of stuff. You just build over time. Exactly. And the beautiful thing is, the beautiful thing about that is over time you build together with your audience almost. So you over time they will see your channel developing. You'll be like, I mean, Reg was a prime example. Me and Reg, like everyone knows, and it goes for a few of us, but we all started at the same time. And Reg got these cool overlays, and he sent them to me, and I was like, bro, that's sick. Like, because obviously me and him were growing at a similar rate. So, like, we both got affiliated within, like, a week of each other or something like that. And now he sent me his emotes, and he was like, I was like, and just watching someone grow and build something is fucking inspiring, and your audience will do the same thing with you. Like, it's crazy. Like, yeah, you learn what the people like, and that's what you look for. You can come up with your own ideas for how you want to decorate and all that kind of stuff. But your community ends up what grows your content and what you end up turning your stream into. 100%. So going into the streaming community as a whole, what do you think? What do you think of the current state of the community and of Twitch, Kick, and all the platforms combined? What do you think of the current state of it, Josh? Well, it's hard as hell to get noticed, and that's what I'm noticing. I honestly think I would have a pretty good following and a pretty good
regular viewers, people, if I could just get people to come in, and that's the hardest part, is just to get people to
100%.
kind of pay attention to you.
Yeah.
Because there's everybody out there, everybody and their freaking grandma is a streamer. You got little kids streaming and you got 80-year-olds streaming, so it's just, to actually get noticed by anybody, you really have to set yourself apart somehow. I try and make myself the easygoing guy that anybody can come to, and I try and interact with positivity and stuff like that, so people are more inclined to come join me. But it's hard to get people to actually spend any time with you. And they say you only got a few seconds to really interact with the new people that come into your room to get their attention and show that they're valuable. And that's how I want to make everybody feel that comes in, is I pay attention to anybody that talks to me and try and make them feel like they're the most important thing in that moment, because that's how it is. So just getting noticed is the struggle for sure.
One thing I would say about that to like people that are watching this now, that are wondering, the stream scheme, again, we've talked about them quite a lot today, so I feel like they should cut me a check. But they say something great about that, is that, well, there's 2 points I'm going to make. One of the things they talk about is the fact that the amount of people that lurk in your streams before you actually see the number go up. So that's why you have to be like constantly, like people say, like I used to like narrate my streams, like the first early ones, like I just used to talk to myself, talk to the voices inside my head, because they said that like the number is like, there's like a 30-second delay on the viewer count. So there's always typically someone watching, you just don't know about it until after they've gone. But also, the other thing they preach is that the consistency is key, because what happens is you will slowly get one person will follow you, and then they'll either share your content, and that's why it's so important to have your about page updated and have all your links, because they may share your Twitter, and then another person will come. So at some point, it's almost like that kind of pebble on the avalanche, kind of slowly builds, and then one day you'll get like 2 people, and it'll just overnight blow up almost. So it is those streams though, where you are grinding with one person watching, they are brutal, and that all leads back to your point earlier about being mentally resilient, because it is so fucking important. Because those streams where there's 1 or 2 people in your not even in your chat, when your chat is dead and there's just 1 or 2 people watching, and one of those people's you is brutal.
Well, it makes it easy for me, because I already sit here when playing games. I've drove my wife nuts for years, sitting here playing games and having full conversations with myself in the TV.
No, that's exactly for me.
I'm already doing this anyway, so let's just go ahead and put it on video. And so even if nobody's talking to me, I'm usually having full conversations that people can listen to. So it's not even an issue with me. Yeah, don't sit there in silence. Make sure you're having fun with what you're doing. Show enthusiasm with what you're doing. If somebody's just sitting there ho-hum, not making any effort or doing anything, and you don't know that you got 4 lurkers sitting there, like, do something. Yeah.
No, yeah, 100%. So, Saviour, what do you think of the current state of streaming, and like the streaming community at large? Like, we see the rivalries between Twitch and Kick and all that business.
Yeah.
People, at each other's necks on a semi-regular basis on Twitter. What are your thoughts?
So, I had a different approach with the community, because before streaming, because I didn't know what the community was like. But then when I got into streaming, and then I started meeting you, and then meeting you, that opened the floodgates to meet everyone else, and the community has just been great. But what I think of the community, I think like what you're doing right now with the WeRise stream today, like something like this is a huge step forward for the community, for these small creators. I feel as though it gives us that platform to really put us on and give us some exposure. But it's what Josh said, where it's we struggle with getting exposure. We struggle with getting the traction and getting the viewers in. But you got to put yourself out there. And again, when me being in the community now, though, I love it. I'm in all these different Discords and on Twitter.
Oh, this game is gonna piss me off. Sorry.
Yeah, it already eliminated me. I'm done. I'm
gonna scream. Sorry.
But in a way, for me, right? So what I did to kind of shape the community in my eyes was and nothing against the bigger streamers, nothing against them whatsoever. I unfollowed them all on Twitch, and so now I'm on Twitch, I see all my friends, all these other creators who are my friends and that I know of, and I talk to them and I interact with them, whether on Twitter, Discord, and I hop in their streams and I'm stream hopping when I can because I never have the time to stream hop. But yeah, the community is great only because like I don't know, I like shape it differently in my head. Again, I unfollowed all the bigger streamers. The community is what you make of it, in a way, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real. I follow one big streamer, and that's Mutex. He's my favorite streamer. I'm a huge.
Yeah, Mutex. I used to follow him. I don't follow him. A shame, but I used to watch him. Scump, Nick Merckx.
Yeah. I'm not too.
Again, nothing against those guys. You know.
No. But it's true. I do truly believe that. Like I'm one of those people. Like so, what I do is there's a great quote, and I'm gonna fuck up who it was from, but. He has the rule of 100 when he's working on his business. So every day you put 100 minutes into your business, minimum.
Yeah.
Because there isn't anyone in this world. I'm someone who not to fucking like harp on about myself, but I'm someone who runs this streaming platform. I go to the gym 5 days a week minimum. I work a full-time job. I have 3 kids. I have 2 baby mums. Like time is tight. And I can sacrifice 100 minutes, so I struggle to believe anyone can't sacrifice 100 minutes of their day for what they're passionate about. And that 100 minutes is a gift to yourself. So every day you gift yourself 100 minutes. And what I typically do with those 100 minutes, I spend a lot more time than that on my Twitch journey. But I vow to give 100 minutes to streamers a day. So like, and these 2 boys here who are in fucked up time zones for me will be able to. Vouch for me that it'll be 2 AM in the morning and I'll see Josh has gone live or I'll see Saviour's gone live and I'll jump in for 10 minutes and I'll say, boys, I was just on my way to bed, but like,
dude, that makes my world. That makes my world. If anybody who just wants to come in and say hi and be like, I can't stay, but I want to acknowledge your presence.
100%.
That's reassuring to me. That's all I need to know is you acknowledge my presence. I'm good now. You may continue on.
That is it. No, 100%. No, that's exactly it. I couldn't articulate it quite as well as you just did then. But that is just it. It's just my way of saying, bro, I see ya. I love what you're doing. I've got crazy love for you. Here's 10 minutes of my time. I might drop some bits or whatever. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you're in the space.
Exactly.
I'm going to go to bed now. Like,
yeah. I try to do that too.
Yeah.
So all you gotta do is just, it takes what, 5 minutes? Like not even 5 minutes. It takes like a minute out of your time to pull up the Twitch app, get into a stream, show love.
That's what I'm always saying. I'm always saying it just takes a little bit of effort. Like, it's so easy to make somebody's day. Just a kind word, just a compliment, just I paid attention to you. Like, that really can make a difference in someone's life and day.
Keep it up,
so,
you're
like,
doing great, something like that.
Yeah,
goes a long
just
way.
something. We don't hear that kind of stuff during the day. We go about our daily routines and all this shit, day in, day out. We don't really get acknowledged special out of anything that anything that goes on. It's just the day to day. So make somebody feel like they're important. Make somebody feel like they're special for a minute,
But we spend so much time almost being, and even if you're the most extroverted person in the world, we spend so much time being seen as almost invisible. You go to work and you're just a number, X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So coming on here and having someone just jump in and go, I see you, I recognise you, I acknowledge you, I appreciate you.
I see your hard work, all that.
Yeah. And Krita, I want to know something about that person. Give me something about you that I can attach to you. That when you pop in, I remember this about you. What you like, what you're struggling with, what your favorite thing is. Whatever it is. Like, let's make some kind of connection there, so that next time I recognize you and you know you're being acknowledged. Like, hey, I remembered this guy, and that makes you feel good when somebody remembers you on stream that you visited. So
yeah. And do you know what? I love the fact that like. Because I'm someone like it's not for everyone, but I love that grind mentality, and I love the fact that it'll be 1 AM and I can go and chill with Saviour for half an hour, and he's like, bro, just go to bed, and I'm like, no,
I'm doing the same. Yeah, dude, I always do the same thing. Go to bed, dude. Don't waste your time with me.
I love it because what it is for me, and again, at times you've got to feed your own ego. I believe in having an ego. It's important. It's recognizing your own self-worth. Like, call it ego, call it whatever, but it's important. So I love the fact, because it reaffirms to me, like, Deli, you're working hard. Look, these boys who you look up to, they see you're working hard. So it reaffirms that for me. Like, so
absolutely, man.
It's a little gift to myself as well, and you've got to do it. You've got to recognize your inner beast, like, and that is it for me. And I love it. 2 AM chilling with Saviour or Josh for like 10 minutes. I'm just like, Deli, you've worked hard today. Like now you can now you
can go to bed. You done good, pig. Good job. Go to bed.
100%, 100%.
This guy's an animal, man. He'll be in my stream for like a good hour or two. I'm like, Jesus, I don't know how you're doing it.
Honestly, because me and you have similar friendships, like within the people that we play games with. So like, you go to my stream, you'll see me, Yashra, Splinter, or Sammy, or whoever giving each other shit. Then I'll go into yours and I'll see you, Jay, and Jen like giving each other shit, and it's like I get to like, I can't play with my friends now, but I can watch Savior play with his. Like, it's like that.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean. Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
I wish I had that first person shooter call zone connection you guys have, because that's a real like community buddy type of thing, and yeah, it's just that FPS is just not my jam.
No. But the thing is it's over time finding those friendships that like you have similar. Because I can't remember what your buddy's name is, but he streams as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, Darian Crimson Drugger. Yep.
Yeah, Crimson Drugger. Yeah, go give him a follow. Drop his out in the chat if you can, Josh.
Yeah, here, let me put his.
So yeah, it's 100% that like building those relationships are so key. Right, boys. So this is my favorite part. This is the part that I love. Savior, I'll go with you first, bro, because you spoke. Right. All right. So what I want from you is your top 3 games of all time. And then top 3 games that you believe changed gaming forever.
Alright. I made a list because I was thinking about
yes,
it
you did.
yesterday.
Homework. Homework.
It was literally homework. Like because I don't want to be on stream and like just be stuck and be like, let me think about it. No, I got me a list, so we're good. So alright, I'm gonna do number 3, right? Number 3 for my top 3 games, right? It was it was back and forth, but I think I'm gonna pick Apex Legends. I used to be real big on Call of Duty, but I fell out of it. Ashamed that I did, because I still do love Call of Duty, but it's not as much. But Apex takes the cake for me as the best FPS shooter out right now. The movement, the gunfighting, the maps, the characters in it, the guns. I just love Apex in general. Number 2 will be. It's a pain in my ass, but Resident Evil 4 Remake. Resident Evil 4 Remake. The original that came out in 05 was basically my childhood back on like PlayStation 2. Again, we talked about it earlier, but yeah, Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's funny how Resident Evil 2 original was like my childhood. Resident Evil 4 Remake, I'm an adult now, and I can still enjoy Resident Evil 4, which is crazy. Resident Evil 4 is amazing. I love it. And number 1, I'll say Red Dead Redemption 2.
2? Really?
Yeah. Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I love Red Dead Redemption 2. The story, the following Arthur Morgan, and it leading up to you playing as John Marston, and the things you can do in that world. Like, I did a second playthrough on it, but I didn't get to beat it the second time, but I want to get back to it. It's such an amazing fucking game. I can spend hours on that fucking game.
The story is sick, to be fair.
Dude, listen, I can spend legit like an hour or 2 hunting down like elk. And like I'll have a banging ass time on Red Dead Redemption 2, just hunting animals. That's all I'm doing, and I'm having a fucking blast.
Man said elk.
Yeah, or elk something. I'm having a fun ass time.
I don't know if I've been streaming too long or what, but that is funny as fuck. My guy said elk.
That's just how it is. Like, dude, like I'm hunting down whatever, and I'm having a fucking ball.
I mean, I feel it, but like that is, I don't know why, but that is funny as fuck.
Yeah, so that's my top 3. All right, so my top 3 games that define gaming. I had to think about this one. So number 3, again, I was back and forth on 2 games to take the number 3 spot. I still am right now, but I have to say, I have to say Fortnite. I have to give it a Fortnite. Number 3, Fortnite.
Rock said Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite, only because it changed, like, Battle Royale. Like, you had H1Z1, PUBG, right? But Fortnite literally changed the landscape of Battle Royales.
It put it at the top.
Yeah, it introduced the Battle Pass feature, which every game damn near has.
And feeds off now. That's what people like Activision eat off now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a life source now. Not only that, but in the beginning, at least, the whole building mechanic was fun before all the all the sweats got into it. But the building mechanic while fighting was super cool, and the fact that it lasted from 2017 all the way to now, and it's still popular, still relevant. Listen, it's probably one of the top games of this generation. I have to give it that. Yeah, Fortnite. I don't play it anymore. But
no,
yeah, it has to be up there. It adapted.
No, I've never fucked with Fortnite, but I respect it. I respect the what it did. Like you said, there's certain games that came before, but the reason that I believe Warzone, like the Activision and Sledgehammer and everyone put so much money behind Warzone and Apex and stuff like that is purely because they saw what Fortnite were doing. And they were like, we have to do something. They were working on it for years before, but those producers, manufacturers, whatever you want to call them, those brands, they saw Fortnite coming before obviously we did, because everyone's in touch with everyone. So they saw what they were gonna do, and they had to pivot and make Warzone what it is, and and Apex and all that business. But that's a big list.
Yeah,
that's a big list. Josh,
go on. Oh, my bad.
No, go save it.
Oh no, I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, I was big on Fortnite, and I just stopped playing it, and back in like 2020. But I have 2 more games too. So
go on. Yeah. My bad. Go on.
Yeah. No, you're fine. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
I had to say Grand Theft Auto. I don't know if anyone else ever mentioned it on stream today.
They haven't.
I will be. That's my pick too.
You know what? I'm
It is
actually,
okay.
Thinking about it now, there's been a lot of fucking games mentioned, to be fair, but that makes complete sense. That no one's mentioned that yet, but that makes complete sense because stuff like San Andreas and stuff like that.
Yeah. I remember like playing that again. The youngest brother watching his brothers play. You know what I mean? Vice City, Liberty City, all that. And then I played those too. But what changed the game for me with Grand Theft Auto was Grand Theft Auto 4. Oh my god! If that game's on the market right now, I'll buy it. Grand Theft Auto. All right, and number 1, Gears of War.
Really?
I think, Gears of War.
I love Gears of War, don't get me wrong, I fucking love Gears of War, but you're going to have to explain that one.
Well, alright, so like, I think...
Gotham Monkey said which one?
Oh my god. Well, yeah, that's true. I'll say 3, because 3 was real story. The story hit its peak with 3. And that's what I'm going to talk about too, is the story. Dreadweb earlier mentioned about a shooter that has stories. And
yeah, that's real.
The first game that came to mind was Gears of War, because Gears of War not only has a compelling arena shooter, and it was very popular, but the story is also very popular as well. The characters in it, what they go through, what they have to endure to like get to where they gotta be, just the story in general, I love so much. I probably should have Grand Theft Auto over Gears of War, but Gears of War I've spent a lot more time on, because I play that every day with my buddies and all that campaign, multiplayer, horde mode. But yeah,
horde mode. Do you know you forget this shit? Oh. You forget this shit. Horde mode. One thing just to mention about Gears of War, the game mechanics were fucking unreal. Do you know the way that you you used to lock onto walls, like when you would
lock onto walls and dive and
like the game mechanics were intense.
Yeah, they were. But yeah, I say that only because like what Dreadweb said again, just going off what he said earlier, that shooters don't really have compelling stories. I mean, the Call of Duty has like a campaign, but it's like, is it really like, you know what I mean? Like Gears of War has that story, has the shoot, it has the multiplayer, it also has the campaign, the story to back it up too. Yeah, so I don't know. It's my personal opinion, but yeah, that's me right there.
Yeah, no. To be fair, do you know what? I'm so glad that not. It's brilliant across the board that everyone has mentioned different games as well.
Yeah.
Like everyone's lists, some have had similar games or one or two of the same, but everyone's had a different one. GTA, I can't believe no one's mentioned that.
GTA? Yeah. I was, because I obviously I couldn't catch the whole stream, so I'm sure for like, I'm for sure like someone had mentioned.
chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anyone's mentioned GTA or Gears of War.
And that's funny. We're both gonna mention it.
Right now we both are, right?
Right, go on, Josh. Josh,
Well,
so
Josh,
your
let's hear it.
top 3 of all time, your personal top 3 of all time, and then
All
your
right.
top 3 games that you believe changed streaming.
It's tough for me to pick of course, I'm gonna have a weird answer. It's tough for me to pick a real, like, absolute favorites because I get lost in every experience that I enjoy. I come out of most games being like, that's my favorite game ever. But I have the ones over the years, and everybody's gonna groan. I got no particular order here. Final Fantasy VII has to be one of my favorite experiences of all time because it reminded me, or actually taught me. Like I said, I went from NES to PlayStation 1, and the first game I bought with my paycheck was Final Fantasy VII. And so it honestly, I cried. And I was 14, 15 years old, and I had so many emotional moments and emotional connections in that game. Like, it really affected me. And because I'm an emotional dude, all about the feelings and stuff, like, I just latched onto that. It showed me that games were like a real art medium and stuff like that. And so Final Fantasy VII was a big one for me. Something more recent was Ghost of Tsushima. That game blew me the frick away. I was so lost in that world. I even platinumed it, and I'm not a platinum person ever. Just such a beautiful world. I love the Japanese story. The fighting was just insanely slick. So that's probably I've been calling that one my number one currently for a favorite game. And then another one I doubt anybody would mention is Yakuza 0.
You're naming some games here. I'm like,
yeah, you're naming games. Like you're.
I play different stuff, and Yakuza the Yakuza 0 actually opened up the entire RGG Studios world to me, and I am obsessed with all their games now. I can't wait till October for the next release. I can't wait till March for the next release. Like, Yakuza series and RGG Studio games are my hype. I love them. Some people just hate them, some people love them, but that's been some of my favorites. So I have an entire library of about 12 different games I'm working my way through now that I fell in love with Yakuza. So it's wonderful. So those are my 3 favorites. Plus I was a solo gamer for a long time. I didn't start this multiplayer stuff until I started streaming. I had a pop-in live list back in the 360 days, like I said, but I had no friends on PS3 or 4. I was drinking alone and playing games solo, so that was it. So not a lot of multiplayer stuff on my favorites. But as for games that change things, like I said, we said Grand Theft Auto 3. I'm gonna go ahead and say 3 specifically because that's when it went 3D. And the concept of an open world 3D game where you could basically do anything was just out there at that time. There was similarities. It had started with the PS1 with the kind of overhead view of having an open world, but a full 3D rendered open world game was just pretty sick. We had our PS2 basically on 24 hours a day, and somebody was there playing it. I don't think we ever shut it down. We'd pick up where the other person left off, and my cousin and my best friend, they'd just walk by, grab a controller, play for 2 hours, leave it on, and somebody else come by. It was just nonstop with GTA 3, so that one was huge. What did I write down here? Oh, God of War. I think God of War completely changed things with the you had the quick time events added in that became overly used for an entire generation of games, and it's still used today.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And I love that formula. I didn't connect with the 2018 and the new. I haven't played the new one, but I didn't connect with 2018. I wasn't really digging it as much. But that old formula of God of War, that's just so much fun to me. Like, I just recently replayed Dante's Inferno because it's similar to God of War, and God, it's just so just the hack and slash, the 150 combo things, the cool weapons, yeah. And it's just so fun. I loved God of War. And then my third one is Silent Hill.
Yes.
Back when Silent Hill, there was Resident Evil, of course. That was the zombie game. You always had monsters and zombies and stuff like that would come at you, big scary things. Didn't have a whole lot of psychological horror. That was what that's the term that Silent Hill invented, was the psychological horror, where you were creeped out to the max. You were scared as shit, but you didn't know what about or what from until you saw it.
You said it so well there, because the first Silent Hill, I was like young playing that, and I was just walking up to the house at the very beginning when you can only walk because you can't run, and I was like hyperventilating at like 8 years old, like walking up to this house. I'm not sure what I'm scared of, but I'm fucking scared. Like, that is a.
And then what ended up being a tech problem ended up becoming legendary for the series. They used the fog to get rid of pop-in, and that just created the whole atmosphere for the series, is the Silent Hill fog. So they created tech ideas, and plus they presented it more gruesome. I remember the first time I walked up to this like chain link fence, and there was entrails and body parts in PS1 graphics, and you had demented like demon nurses and shit that twitched funny that scared the crap out of you, and you had crawling babies with no limbs on the ground, and like just stuff that was, you didn't see that really in games, that weird of like creatures and all that kind of stuff. And even later, 15, 20 years later, they did the PT demo, which everybody flipped the fuck out about, and that's still just that one demo influenced horror games after that and the way they were played. And now we're playing games like Madison, which feels a lot like the PT demo was going for back then. So I just think Silent Hill affected horror and affected gaming a lot.
Silent Hill is a great shout, because you even see aspects of it in games today. Like someone mentioned Last of Us as one of the pivotal games, which I do agree with, by the way. I'm not shitting on it. But games like that spawned off, no one can argue that Resident Evil didn't inspire almost every horror game we see today.
Mm-hmm.
But they are serious. Silent Hill is one of those games, because like I said, that was a game that you didn't know why you were scared, you just knew you were scared.
And that's psychological horror, and that's what I believe they pretty much created with psychological horror.
And I don't know if they're releasing a new one or they're remastering the old ones, but they are coming out soon. I remember.
There's three new Silent Hill games coming out. They're remastering two. Yep.
They're remastering two and bringing out a whole new one.
Yep. There's three of them total.
Do you guys remember the PT playable demo thing that they had? It was like
that's what I was just mentioning.
Yeah, and they canceled it. Oh man.
Yep.
That shit was fucking. Oof.
Yeah, and the developers it's different developers working on it. It'll never be like Silent Hill 1 through 4 again, probably, but I just hope they capture the essence of Silent Hill with the 3 games that are in development right now.
I don't think you can remake those games.
No, it's not gonna be the same. But if they do, if it's anywhere near the standard of Resident Evil 4 or Dead Space when it comes to a remake, that'll be amazing. I'm pumped for it no matter what.
That's another one.
I don't buy day one MSRP $69.99 games, but I will be buying that one day one.
Yeah, for sure. So this leads on to the final question before you boys can plug your stuff, and then I can't believe I'm going to have to end this. I could go for another couple hours minimum.
Oh my god, you fucking animal.
We love you, man. This has been great.
I appreciate it. But so the best Josh, you lead us off with this one. Best console of all time in your opinion, and then the console that defined gaming.
Okay, well, for me personally, I'm not going to do this objectively. Subjectively, to me, the PS1 is my favorite console of all time, because that was the first console I bought for myself with my own money, and I got to finally start collecting games, because I never did that in my childhood. And then talking about PS1 RPGs, I mean, come on, the best RPGs that have been released in history were on the PS1. My feelings. And I was a solo player anyway, so that was just my jam. And I just have really fond memories of the jewel cases and the greatest hits colors and everything like that. So it's got a real emotional connection for me for the PS1. As for my, what I think was the most influential, definitely the PS2, because one of the reasons why it became such a staple and why it is the best-selling console of all time was because it offered a DVD player at the time.
Oh shit! No one's heard that yet. That's a shout.
Holy hell!
Yeah, because that made it mainstream into everybody's home. It's like, we need to get a DVD player that already costs like $150 or something. Why not pay $199 or whatever to get a PlayStation that has a DVD player? That's why it had the largest user base in everybody's home. And so between that and then the amazing library of games that the PS2 had, just incredible games, my objective statement would be the PS2.
That's that. Do you know what, the DVD line? That is. I didn't think about that. That changes my answer. Right, go on, Saviour. You got a lot to live up to, brother.
Listen, but keep in mind that I'm only 25. All right.
Yeah, I'm 23.
So I'll say, right, my favorite console and the console that defined gaming is the same. It's the same console for me, and that's it's the Xbox 360.
A lot of people said 360. A lot of people.
Yeah, it's the Xbox 360 because it was the first console that I actually had online with, right? and I met most of my friends on there. We played so many classics. I'm not even gonna begin to name the games we played on that, but I've had so many fond memories of me playing the Xbox 360. That point in time was like so. I wish I could just go back. But yeah, and not only that, but the Xbox 360 also defined gaming because like the games that are out at that time. You know, at that time, Call of Duty was, you know, Xbox had the rights to Call of Duty. You know, to like all the exclusive first time stuff. Gears of War, you had your Halo. What else? I know I'm missing a few. I can't think of them on the top of my head, but the games at that time were also just revolutionary as well. Yeah, I think the Xbox 360 for me takes the cake as my favorite console of all time and the console that changed the game for me.
Do you know what? It's such a difficult question to ask, isn't it? Really, because
it really is.
You look at these. Like my original answer was the original PlayStation because, like, I like gaming for me anyway. PlayStation was like I was very young when it was out. I was like 8, 9, I think, but it became cool to game. Like it was like people wanted to own a console, at least where I grew up. And then you had stuff like the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2, and then like you said, like the 360 came out, and online gaming became a huge thing. Like it became massive, and like Xbox, I think I might be wrong, but it would be my opinion that Xbox 360 kind of paved the way as in online gaming purely because of what Halo brought to the table. But then you talk about PvP games and FPS games, you got to talk about GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. Like, it's like
exactly. It's like,
and this is why I've been talking about this
qualified.
This round table I'm going to do, where I'm going to get like 6 or 7 streams at a time, sit like all set on stream, and we're going to build lists of like, we'll do one stream that'll be 100 of the greatest games of all time, and we'll publish a list. Sort of like
that's gonna be a tough one.
Rap Caviar do, Double XL do, and you know, I know certain gaming outlets do, and that'd be a fucking 12-hour stream in itself.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That will be absolute madness. But boys, we've got to close this out, and you know, what a duo to close this out with. Like this has been special. This has been really special.
It has been. I've been having a great time.
It's been great, man. I love this.
And I just want to add something, right? I don't know if you read it in the chat, but I woke up like randomly 4 in the morning because I had to go use the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, I know he's doing the stream right now because like, yeah, it's UK time, and I tuned in and it's you and Yasha talking and all that, and I'm like, shit, but I'm too tired to interact, so I had it on for a while. I was in the bathroom, and then I was like, all right, I'll tune back in when I wake up. Dude, you're an absolute beast, dude. What the hell? How the hell do you just stay up all day doing this?
Do you know what it is? And this is why, like I've said a whole lot of things. Like the next up platform that I do, which is a coaching service that I provide.
Sweet.
And not to plug it, but it's extremely affordable because I want to help people. And then the WeRise, which is used to elevate other streamers.
Hey, trophy.
Is the reason for me doing all this is because I truly want it. That's why I can go off 3 hours sleep, because I know this is what I want, and I'll do everything.
Zaps, you want it? You want it? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Zaps won.
Look, this is what I talk about: surrounding yourself with people who want to see you win. Look how hyped he is for it.
Come on, let's go. Reverence.
I'm a cheerleader.
So yeah, like.
Awesome.
Yeah, I truly want this. So yeah, but to close out, like I say, everyone today, but including you two boys, I keep saying it, I can't thank all of you enough for supporting me, because I wouldn't be where I am right now and on the journey I'm on without your support, without, like I say, people like Saviour and Josh following me when I had 10, 11, 12, 13 followers, when no one had anything to gain from knowing me. And now I want to be able to return that energy. Now I have a small platform. I want to be able to platform other streamers and be able to uplift people. And I was just having this conversation with Saviour last night at about 2 AM when his boy, go on, what's his name? Ash. It's Ash on Twitter, but I don't think.
Yeah, yep, Ash, yep.
Yeah, he just started out streaming, and I said to Saviour, I said, does he want to do something with the platform? And he's like, yeah, he's looking. And I said, tell him to DM me, drop me some clips. I'll do a spotlight for him. We'll see if we can get him a few more followers. So like, if you are watching this now and streaming is something you want to take seriously, you do want to make something of yourself, reach out to me because I will give you a few minutes of my time, 100%, no matter what I'm doing, and I will help you. So yeah, feel free, hit me up on Twitter, anywhere. And it goes for all these boys. All these boys I know, if you drop them a DM tomorrow, they will respond and give you like little tidbits, give you a piece of advice that are invaluable. And if you do really want to get into streaming, also follow us on Discord, because our Discord is one of the most supportive communities out there. But yeah, one last time, boys, because I've got to go and pick my son up from nursery in about 20 minutes. I appreciate you both so fucking much. Real day ones right here. Real day ones.
Yep.
Of course, man. You got it.
So I love you both to pieces. I appreciate you so much. And like I said, I've got something big coming up that's going to change and cause some waves. And I'll be hitting you both up about it sometime in the next month or so. So yeah, love you both, boys. Keep killing it.
Yep.
Right.
So shout-outs?
Shout-outs,
yeah,
go
the plugs.
Yeah, go for it. Plug yourselves.
Josh, you want to go first? Go ahead, go first.
Cool, man. So even though I'm GoshJoshGamez with a Z on here, it's GoshJoshGamez with an S on Twitter. I'd love to talk to anybody. I post a lot. I post about life stuff. I post about gaming. I post about mental health. I post about my animals that are always on stream as well. So, come talk to me. Like, I just enjoy interactions. I guarantee I'd give you, acknowledge you and hear you. And I am streaming Thursday through Sunday, so I'm going to be on here with Days Gone a little bit later today. I don't know. I took the day off, so I may be on stream all day, so just keep an eye out for me here. So my schedule is Thursdays, It Takes Two with my friend Chad, Friday, Days Gone, Saturday, Tiny Tina or Diablo with my buddy Crimson Draugr, and then Sunday, I do Sunday Indies, where I play indie games. So that's my schedule, and that's what it's looking like for the weekend, so find me there.
100%. Just before you cut in, Saviour, one thing I do really want to stress, because I know Josh was talking earlier about like streaming to one person and stuff like that. Honestly, if you're watching this now and you just want to chill with someone and just have some light-hearted conversation, or even if you want to have some deep conversation, I cannot stress enough how much Josh embodies that. Like, if that's what you're looking for, this guy is the person to go and follow and go and watch, because I have so much fun. Like I say, it's 2 a.m. in the morning and I'm just chilling, I'm tired, I'm getting ready for bed, and I'll see he's gone live. I'll be jumping straight in his stream because I know I'll have some chill conversation just before I go to bed. Helps me unwind, and I know it helps him. Like, please go and follow this guy, because I cannot speak high enough of him.
I just want to make people happy, dude. I just want to make people feel accepted and happy and loved. So that's my whole goal. Spread love.
You smash it, bro. You smash it. I can't champion you.
Thanks, buddy.
Saviour, go for it, bro. Let's kill it.
All right. Well, it's SaviorZaps across on all platforms. You got Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Same thing, SaviorZaps. I'm not as active as I am on TikTok. I'm a little active on more so on Twitter and Instagram. But more gaming related stuff is on Twitter. Instagram, I just post buffoonery whenever I feel like it. Every now and then. But yeah, those are my socials. Same thing, SaviorZaps. Shout out to my big brother who's in Deli's chat right now. I seen him.
He is.
Rambo 1127. Shout outs to him. He's in there. And for the readers as well, I'm writing a book called The Plague. I'm writing one of the drafts for it right now. It's going to be a while until it ever sees the sun, but I am writing a book. That's one thing I wanted to get out. That's pretty awesome. I told Deli.
He told me. I was so hyped.
Yeah, I told Deli I wanted to announce it in a way on stream, and it's no better way to do it here at the end. So, yeah, I'm writing a book. Hopefully you guys, when it's all said and done, and then when it's ready to come out the oven, I'll let you guys know.
Oh, well,
that's
bro,
awesome.
when you're ready to do that, bro, we're gonna kill it. We'll do a real rollout. You know me.
Ooh, yeah, man, I got you. And streaming schedule for whoever follows me on Twitch. I do have my schedule up on Twitter. It's pinned. I stream Sunday through Thursday from 5:30 to 9 whenever. I try to at least get 2 hours in, and the start time varies because I have to go to the gym. So yeah, Sunday through Thursday. Yeah, man, gotta get them gains. Sunday through Thursday, Friday and Saturdays are my off days. I mean, maybe I'll do an exception on Fridays for October, because I do want to plan something for October, so spooky season. So yeah, but yeah, that's my schedule. Again, SaviorZaps across on all platforms.
Big up the boys. Right, guys, we're going to close out now. So big shout out to everyone today. So go follow at that Yasha guy on all platforms, at RockRice, at Gaming Letters, at Miss Rasmatron, at Von Frankenstein, at King Smitty 2023, at Gotham Monkey, at Regnoth, at the Dreadweb, at GoshJoshGamez, at SaviorZaps. We've absolutely fucking killed it today, chat.
What a fucking lineup! I swear to God, what a fucking lineup.
Follow me on Twitter. And by the way, everyone, and I mean this, I don't normally do self-promotion shit. I normally ask people to ask permission first. But everyone, just plug your shit. Drop whatever acts you want. Drop them in the chat right now. Go follow everyone. Let's fucking get some positivity. Let's get everyone followed. Let's spread the word. Let's hype this shit up because this platform was built for you, not for me. So let's do it. Shout everyone out.
I love it, man. I fucking love it.
Big energy.
You're the man. You're the man, meat.
I appreciate you both, boys. And then what we're going to do is we're going to raid Yasha right now because obviously he's on Team TMGC. Team TMGC takeover. We're killing it. So let's get it. Let's get it. Everyone drop some hats in because I'm not raiding out until everyone's dropped some hats. I'll even do a few shout outs to people that I know.
Yeah, I'm doing one to Ash right now. Enraged Ash. I'm putting his at in the chat. That man supports. He really does, and he streams as well. We're gonna get that man to affiliate. I don't give a fuck. We're gonna do whatever it takes to get that man to affiliate. That man supports. He's a real one. I put his at in the chat. I'm trying to think of who else. There's Jada Jules. Jada Jules is another one. She streams. She shows support.
Yep, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raid out. I'm going to raid out to Yasha now. So everyone's staying here. But until we've actually raided out, just keep dropping ads. Follow everyone you can follow. Drop your own ads. Drop other people's ads. Let's just finish off with some positivity, some promotion for everyone. Because like I said, this platform was built for our community, not just for mine. Appreciate everyone coming out today. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the raids. Appreciate the subs. Appreciate the fuck out of all of you. Now let's go get my boy. Much love, everyone. The meat is finally out of the building.
Thanks, guys.
Right. There we go.